Hey guys, Erica Anderson here. I am an Elite Level 5 from Richmond, Virginia, and this is kind of my first big Periscope, so I'm freaking out a little bit. Be kind to me. I have my notes over here, so if I peek, don't laugh at me, it's fine. I wanted to talk to you guys today about a pretty powerful mindset and kind of a trait that I think is super important in having success in this business, and that is being resilient. So the definition of resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness. Now, I remember when I first started out, I was on a call and I heard somebody say that one of the traits that the majority of level 5s in this company all share is resilience. And that's so true. I know that a lot of people want to think that this business is all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and frolicking through flowery fields, but it's life. I mean, bad things happen. It's tough sometimes out there. And so, with that kind of attitude, you know that bad things are going to happen. You know there's going to be ups and downs and bumps in the road. It's all about how you are able to bounce back from those bumps in the road and those tough times. So I'm going to share a couple of stories about my personal experiences in this business. Sometimes I've been resilient and sometimes I have not. So my first kind of story happened my second full month in the business, actually. And within the span of a week, I had my very first PC return her some products and cancel her account. And I also had a couple of consultants quit on me. And so one within 24 hours of enrolling. And so, ouch. And when you're first getting started in a business like this, it's tough to be secure. You're feeling kind of unsure about what you're doing. You're feeling a little insecure, trying to just kind of get the handle on things and figure out how to really be successful. And so when things like that happen, it's easy to feel defeated. And I feel like a lot of people, especially when they're first getting started, they have a couple of negative experiences and they let that defeat them and maybe even quit. They stop doing what they're supposed to be doing and things really slow down for them. So, luckily, for whatever reason, I was able to bounce back. Now, I have been a sensitive person my entire life. And for whatever reason, this business has made me tougher. It's given me a thicker skin. And luckily, I was able to quickly bounce back from that and be even more motivated to succeed than I was before. I feel like the old Erica would have given up pretty quickly if something like that had happened. But the new Erica was ready to go. And I ended up signing 3 more people that month, which is great. So, it's all about how you respond to the negative things that happen in your life. And I cannot imagine if I had let that stop me, what my life would look like now, where I would be. I mean, it would be completely different if I had let, a couple of bad things slow me down. So that's kind of my first personal experience with how I was actually pretty resilient and able to bounce back from those tough times. I know that we all kind of have haters, whatever you want to call them, pigeons, sheeps, bad apples, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. I have been pretty lucky in that I have a lot of positive, supportive people around me. But, throughout my journey, I have come across a couple of not so supportive people, maybe family members who aren't acknowledging what I'm doing or, less than friendly responses to my messages, whatever it is. If you've been in this business long enough, you're going to come across some of those people. And I think that the sooner that you realize that that's their issue and not yours, the better off you'll be. But I personally have struggled with that. And like I mentioned, I've been very lucky. For the most part, my family and friends and even acquaintances and strangers have been very, very supportive and friendly to me when I've mentioned the business. And so something happened to me recently. I want to tell you guys a story about something that happened to me recently. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks. So it actually happened a couple of weeks ago, a month or so ago. We were in Maui for our incentive trip, and it had been an amazing trip. We'd all been celebrating our hard work and success, and I wake up on the last full day there and I get a message from one of my customers. and she had been a very supportive, loyal customer for almost a year and a half. And she basically started off by saying, "I see that you're having an amazing trip. Good for you." I was like, uh-oh, where's this going? And she said, "I love the products, but I can no longer support the company." She went on to tell me that she was not pleased with the posts that she was seeing from consultants. She thought that we were boastful and braggy, and you did not see other professional women posting about their trips and cars and gifts and stuff like that, which of course you do. Of course you do. If someone, earns an incentive trip or gets a gift from their company for promotion or an anniversary, of course they're going to put it on Facebook, on social media. But for whatever reason, whatever set her off that day, she was taking issue with, excuse me, she was taking issue with what she was seeing on Facebook from myself and from my consultants. And so she said, "I feel strongly about this." She did not agree with what we were saying and what we were putting out there. And so she, even though she loved the products, canceled her customer account. And that really hit me hard. And I sat on that bed in that hotel room for a half an hour in stunned silence. I mean, I was shocked, and I didn't know what to do. I just stared out the window. Like, I didn't know what my husband was like, "Are you okay?" Like I said, it was our last full day there. We had a learning session with our executive team. It was supposed to be this day of celebration and fun, and our last day there. And I just spent half the morning trying not to cry, honestly. I mean, I really let it affect me. So much so that after the trip for the next month, I stopped doing what I was doing. I did not send messages to people. I did not talk to people about my business. I stopped posting on social media because I was so paranoid. I let one bad message paralyze me and my business. And my personal business came to a grinding halt. I mean, I had no conversations. My funnel was empty for miles. And finally, my sponsor, Jessie Welty, she actually had a pep talk with me, and she said, "Listen, you got to get back on the horse. You have received so many congratulations of your success from people. You've had so much positive feedback. You've been able to get where you are in a year and a half, and you should be proud of that. And you let one bad apple completely spoil it." And I started, it really hit home, and I started doing all the things again that got me to where I am in the first place. I started sending those messages. I started making those connections and having those conversations and posting again and doing all the things that I knew I should have been doing, but that I was too scared to do. And since then, it's been a couple of weeks, been about a week and a half since then, and I've really hit the ground running again. I've had some great conversations about the business. I signed a couple of customers again, and I'm really feeling good about where I am in my business. And that's kind of an example of me not being very resilient, me not being able to handle the bumps in the road, and it completely affected my business, and I shouldn't have let it. So I think that that's kind of a good lesson of being resilient and being able to bounce back from when you receive some negativity in your life. Because now that I've learned and I've really been able to digest what happened and the message that she sent, I realized that, whatever bitterness, jealousy, whatever personal issue that she is not happy with in her life that made her take it out on me, it's her issue and not mine. And so I kind of wanted to pass that lesson on to you guys, because I know there are people out there, and I know that there's so many of us that have been affected by people like that. And I just really wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it happens to everyone, and it's all about how you respond and how you bounce back. So I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. And I'm sure that many of you have heard this before, but a lion does not concern himself with the opinions of a sheep. And you are all lions. You've decided to do something special and amazing for yourself and for your families. And if there are a couple of people out there that take issue with it, then bah, sheep, who cares? Moving on. That's part of their problem and their insecurity and not yours. And so I hope you guys all can go out and attack the day and attack the weekend. Have a great weekend. Hopefully it's warm and pleasant wherever you are. And I want you all to remember that being resilient will take you really, really far in this business. So I hope you have a great day. And totally unrelated, tomorrow is April 16th, and I want to ask each of you to take a couple of minutes and think about the Virginia Tech 32 tomorrow. Happy Friday and go Hokies. Bye, you guys.